One game that really caught my attention last generation was NieR Automata. I'm not exactly sure what made me interested in this game or what compelled me to make a purchase, but my interest was piqued enough from some of the promotional material that I decided I would give the game a shot. I knew Automata was a sequel to NieR Gestalt and Replicant, and by extension a continuation of the Drakengard series, but to be honest I didn't know much more than that about it, besides the fact that Yoko Taro, a somewhat eccentric figure, was the director of all of these games. Automata at the time of recording has sold over 5 million copies worldwide, which is just astounding since its release in 2017, and this is because if you look at the relatively low sales of the original game, it's kind of impossible that it sold over 5 million copies. The franchise went from a cult classic to a smashing hit essentially overnight. And this means that there are a ton of people out there just like me who never got the chance to play one of the original versions of NieR. It seems fitting then that Square would create a remaster of one of the original versions in order to let fans experience it in a modern context. With how much I loved and appreciated Automata, I am extremely excited for April 23rd, 2021, when the Nier Replicant Remake will be released worldwide. My name is the Ashen Dragoon, and here on this channel I make videos covering gaming and gaming news with the focus on RPGs. I also love to make in-depth analysis videos on the games that I'm really into, so if you do like the video, remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon to get notified every time that I upload. I'm also currently streaming through Bravely Default 2 right here on this channel, as well as simultaneously on Twitch and Facebook, so check out the links in the description if you're interested. So for clarity's sake, I think we need to discuss a couple of things about the original NieR game, or games I should probably say. There was actually two different versions of NieR. There was Replicant and Gestalt. The games for the most part are pretty much the same, with the only major difference being the age of the main character, NieR. In Gestalt, NieR is a 40-something-year-old father who's out to save his daughter, whereas in Replicant, NieR is a teenage brother trying to save his sister. There are other minor differences here and there from what I've researched, but none are too major. The remake we are getting is obviously an updated version of Replicant, so we will be dealing with a younger main hero dealing with saving his sister. This may be a little jarring for fans in the West who did play the original because we actually originally received the Gestalt version of the game. Another thing that I touched on briefly earlier is the fact that NieR is actually a continuation of the Drakengard series, and Drakengard is still somewhat of an obscure franchise that really is a mystery to most people, and that's really not an issue because Yoko Taro games, even though they are all loosely related to each other, if you're playing a particular game, playing all of the others really isn't necessary. They do a very good job of making the story self-contained. You will miss out on a couple details here or there throughout the game, and it may take you a little bit longer to get oriented in the story, but that's about it. Essentially, NieR takes place in a completely different setting than Drakengard, even though they are related. The same can be said about the original NieR and Automata. Automata is an indirect sequel, so it takes place in a much different world and environment than its predecessor. I say this as a heads up for people who have only played Automata like me. Don't be surprised when there aren't machines and androids running around all over the place like you are used to. The world will be a much different place. What has me most excited is actually being able to play through this game and experience the story and not just watch fan summaries of the Yoko Taro games like I did a lot of while preparing to play Automata, so I do have a loose idea of what is going on with some of the other games, but I've really come to have an appreciation of Taro's storytelling style. It's profound, it paints the picture of the human condition or experience so eloquently, while also being somewhat wonky and over the top. The game was a cult classic for a reason. People love this game dearly, even if it didn't age well at all. And by the game didn't age well, I mean it aged so bad that it's almost unplayable. Even if you can find an original PS3 disc or you play it through emulation, you're going to be greeted with some extremely dated visuals in combat. I'm going to be 100% honest, even just looking at the gameplay from the PS3 was enough for me to say, I don't want to play this game. It looks like a chore to play through this game with the combat. However, that's the beauty of a remaster on a game like this. This is a game that truly needs it, and it will really open up the doors for a lot of people to experience the game that never have before. The visuals are a huge improvement, and will just make the game easier to digest and play in today's day and age. I really like, while it's modernized, it looks like it still maintains the style and aesthetic of the original game, and they didn't really change the art direction. The big difference, however, is going to be the combat. I think this was the biggest barrier to entry of the original Nier games. To be frank, it just looks downright bad and boring. Combat is completely being overhauled from the looks of it, and was going to be something closer to the experience of Automata. This will definitely please people who have played the latest entry in the franchise for sure. With how many people bought and played and loved Automata, this seems to be a very smart move. Everything is going to be more smooth, responsive, and engaging. And when I saw that the combat was going to be fixed, I knew for sure that this was going to be a must purchase for me. The amount of changes that I've seen from the trailers to the gameplay make this game look like a quasi remake rather than a remaster. Needless to say, I'm super excited about this game and can't wait to play through the story of Nier, Kaine, Emil, and Grimoire Weiss. I think many people who missed out on this story and experience will be checking out the Replicant Remaster as well. I'll be curious to see what kind of numbers this game does after the success of Automata and what it means for the future of the series. I think there's a good chance that if this game does well, we're going to see another entry into the franchise. If the success continues, this could start to be considered one of Square Enix's flagship franchises, and I think that would be pretty cool. But now I want to know what you guys think. Are you excited for the Nier Replicant Remaster? Do you consider it a remaster or a remake? Did you play the original Nier at all? And if you played Nier Automata, did you know that it was actually an indirect sequel? Let me know the answer to all of those questions down in the comments below. Once again, if you did like the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell icon to get notified every time that I upload. I'm going to keep making more gaming content with a focus on RPGs. And I have my in-depth analysis of Fire Emblem 3 Houses coming within the next couple weeks, so be on the lookout for that. Also, check out the links in the description if you're interested in my live streams. Currently, I'm playing through Bravely Default 2 right here on this channel, as well as on Twitch and Facebook. Until the next video, thanks for stopping by.